Today's video is brought to you by ProPlay Games. If you want to buy the latest singles or sets, look no further than ProPlayGames.com. And don't forget to keep up with our nationally renowned team by liking us on Facebook, following us on Instagram, and most importantly, subscribing to the ProPlay Games YouTube channel. Enjoy. Hey, what's up guys, it's Gage, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I want to talk about lane play in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how its reintroduction into the game could actually be beneficial to the competitive scene. I don't know if lane play necessarily is the correct term, but what I'm trying to refer to is card placement in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how most playmats, like the sneak peek playmats, still have the card slots on them. Those are kind of supposed to be used for a reason. And I want to just talk about how card placement in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a non-existent thing, when actually by the rules, it should be something that is followed to a T. Hence why cards like Senet Switch exist, because you're not actually supposed to be allowed to move your cards from one zone to another without a card effect. And I think this is something that should be taken advantage of in the game, and could actually make the game much more competitive if we introduce a couple select cards, which I came up with a few of them, which I'll share with you guys later in the video. Crazy to think, we had one set that actually focused on this mechanic of the game and took advantage of it. The fact that these monster zones and spell and trap zones exist and aren't to be fucked with. And we had one set try to take advantage of that, which it failed poorly. What the fuck is this set, by the way? Let me look this up. Cyberdark Impact, that's the set. That long ago, we had one set try to take advantage of lane play with cards like Blasting Fuse, cards like Senet Switch. These all came back in Cyberdark Impact. This was the only set they were introduced. Charging Rhino was another one. That card is super ass, by the way. And I think there's a lot of missed potential for competitive viability for this mechanic if it were to come back into the game. Let's talk about it. So for a reference, card placement in trading card games can actually be really important and integral to the game's strategy. For example, I'm gonna reference this again. I know a lot of you people don't play it still, but Hearthstone. Great fucking game, by the way. In Hearthstone, card placement is a huge liability in the game because there's a lot of cards that interact with adjacent cards on the field, or cards that would be next to each other or something. Cards like Betrayal, cards like Defender of Argus. All proper placement for these, if you misplace cards in the wrong area, you could miss out on these potentially powerful effects with these cards. Also, playing around your opponent's powerful cards that could take advantage of your poor placement is another reason why card placement is so integral to the game. For example, there's a card, Explosive Shot, which deals damage to adjacent cards. So if you place two super powerful monsters next to each other, they're gonna get blown the fuck up. And I feel like this is something tried in Yu-Gi-Oh! Way back in its day with a card like Blasting Fuse, which reads, activate only when all four zones of this card's column are occupied. Destroy all cards in this column, meaning the straight line goes boom. This is probably my favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh! And as for the column mechanic, this is literally probably the only semi-viable card to ever exist for that. Everything else is a whole bunch of garbage. Oh, I love trash! So it's really upsetting to see columns not taken advantage, but also the adjacent mechanic wasn't taken advantage of either. With a card like Senet Switch being able to move monsters to adjacent positions, adjacent is already a term in Yu-Gi-Oh! That we can toy around with. So why don't we build off that? And if we build off this with these few cards I created, it could go to show just how important card placement could be in thinking turns ahead of your opponent or playing around your opponent's cards. Let me bring you guys a couple cards that myself and as well as Alex Simo thought of when we were discussing adjacent positions as well as column play. I don't think any column play is actually introduced. This is all adjacent. I'm only going to share two cards with you guys. One that represents both playing around your opponent's cards that could deal with adjacent, as well as benefiting yourself by playing cards and placing monsters correctly turns ahead. First card I want to talk to you guys about is Magispector Wallywall. Yes, I realize it's a fucking Wailord. I'm not an artist. It's a level 4 pendulum monster. That should be a win. That's a mistake on my part, but it's a 4-scale spellcaster pendulum with the effect of adjacent monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and itself cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So in short, this card is a Magispector with its Magispector capabilities being able to spread to adjacent monsters next to it. This card's actually really fucking awesome if you think about it. The way I kind of thought about using this card is being able to add the Magispector protection effect, which is a huge protection effect, by the way, and being able to add it to other cards next to it that normally wouldn't have such. So all these big boss monsters that were complained about a while ago that, hey, these guys don't have built-in protection, therefore they're kind of trash, now they have it with this card here, and I think it's a really cool thing to think about. For example, just something I thought of, if you're going off on a combo with this card and you place Magispector Wallywall in between a card that you're trying to make Ignister with, if you make Ignister, maybe your opponent has an Effect Veiler. If you played this correctly, if you played Wallywall in the correct position on the field, you can actually play around Effect Veiler. So when you synchro into that Ignister and you activate that effect, if your opponent had that Veiler and they were just waiting for it, they can't activate it at that point because Wally Wall, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Wally Wall protects that bitch. That's pretty fucking cool. Again, it's up to you guys' imagination, all of the potential this card has here, but that's just one of the thoughts I had in my mind, and I thought it was a pretty cool one to think about. Obviously, Wally Wall isn't supposed to be used in a normal Magispector deck, but it's supposed to be more applicable to a generic Pendulum deck. You guys think off with that, post in the comment below. I'm actually curious to see if you guys come up with anything. And the other card that Alex actually thought of, which was pretty cool, is Triple Twisters. It's a quick play spell card with the effect of discard one card, then target one spell or trap card on the field, destroy. And if you do, destroy up to 2 spell or trap cards adjacent to the card destroyed by this effect. You guys might think this is broken at first, but hear me out. This card is strictly meant to punish just back row heavy decks, Paleozoics and all those type of decks. Any other deck that plays a minimum amount of trap cards can actually play around this card and make this card garbage. Trash. And it's all because of, again, card placement, where you can punish your opponent for placing their cards incorrectly with a card like this. It's really cool to think about, because if you have 3 spell or trap cards, if you place them correctly, we're leaving a gap in between, this card can only hit 1 spell or trap card, whereas if you put them all clumped together each other, you just went -2. You're fucking stupid. I'll admit this card does seem a little bit too broken, being able to pop 3 cards for the cost of 1, but it's just something to think about. The cost is variable. We could add life points or something to balance it out. I don't know, but it's just something to get you guys thinking on how lane play and card placement should actually be an integral part of the game, and if it is introduced, it could definitely make the game much more competitive and force players to think turns ahead into playing against opponents' outs and everything. I just think this is the coolest thing ever, and it's an opportunity not being taken advantage of, and that's really upsetting. Let me know what you guys think about card placement. Do you think it's a hassle to have to put your cards in specific card zones and keep them there? Or do you guys think this is untapped potential like I do? I really think this is something really cool to look at, and I think it's something that should be revisited. Done the right way, this could be a really entertaining mechanic to reintroduce to the game, and definitely could introduce a lot of powerful cards to come with it.
That's all, folks.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, having expressed you enjoyed the video. Random pack winner, you're up here or down here. It's been down here for the past 2 videos. Oh well. Again, send me a private message with your address and I'll ship them out all together when I get a chance. And then if you guys want to enter a pack, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a relevant comment below. If you guys want to support the channel financially, Patreon links up here. All the money is put to a good use for the channel. Again, I bought this new microphone not too long ago. It's all put to the channel. It's not to me at all. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video tomorrow, and thanks for watching, guys. Signing out.